time for lesson 2. You ready?
I went into Python.
To get out of Python, press Control D. Or Command D. Oh no, Control D. Yeah, Control D. Okay, so now you're back on your bash. So you got your screen on the right, my screen on the left, okay? So, a little recap. Remember that this is just basically our computer, right? Just in a more stripped down, minimalistic kind of way. So, on our computer, we can basically navigate files, right? We can jump around in our file system. What do we do if we want to show all the files in our current directory? ls. Very nice. Yeah, so that tells us all the files that we have in the folder that we're currently in. So we're like a little guy walking around in the folders, okay? If we forget what folder we're in, we can say pwd, right? And that gives us the path to where we are, right? If you start at your root directory, so it's like the highest directory possible, then you jump along all these folders until you get to where you are, right?
Yes.
So right now you're in users and then Victoria. So you're kind of, you're at what we call the home directory, okay?
Yes.
And we had how to change directories, right? cd, and let's say we want to go up 1, so we do ... takes us back 1. pwd, we're up in Victoria codes. Do that one more time. pwd, we're up in projects. So these are all my projects. Okay? Clears your screen. So that's just the bash. Okay? So remember, bash is the language, so the programs that we use.
Clear like this?
Yeah. Exactly. So this is bash. This is the language we use to deal with our operating system, right? Which is our files and our programs, right? And we execute a program by typing its name. So ls is a program, pwd is a program, and they all do specific things. Okay? So like tools. Yeah? Now, remember Vim? Tools is not a command. Yeah. Remember Vim?
Yes.
So Vim, what did it do? Right? It lets us edit files, right? Hello, this is some text. Right? And we have another set of commands when we're inside of Vim. Like, for example, we type 2 dots, and Q tells us we want to quit. It says, oh, you didn't save your changes, so you have to write, I can do Q and then exclamation point to force it to quit if I don't really care about this file. Okay. Hello, this is your father. Very nice. Okay, get out of there. Escape. So you're not inserting text anymore, you just want to do some commands. So 2 dots. And then type the command you want. So Q to quit. Oh, it says you didn't save your changes. So
I don't care.
You don't care, so you put an exclamation mark after the Q to override that warning. So type the command again, Q. All right, so let's type something.
I'm stuck here.
While you do that, I'm going to type some notes. Go to command mode, and then type colon followed by the command. Okay. So for example, colon Q quits the file. Okay. All right. So remember Python? So Python's another programming language, apart from Bash, that lets us do things that are kind of more application specific, all right? And basically, it's just a machine that follows instructions, okay? And it can do some very simple things. But if we build up on those simple things, we can make complicated things, right? So some things that it can do is like add numbers, right? It can divide numbers.
Oops.
Uh-oh, you're doing something different there. 2 equals 2.
No, I meant plus.
2 plus 2.
I didn't
Yeah.
press shift.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Python now, all right? So basically in Python, 8 times 9, very good. Trying out some different operations. 8 divided by 50. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so it's going to be a quick one today, all right? I'm going to introduce you to something I'm going to call data types, right? This is very important. All right? So basically Python is a machine that you talk to, and it can understand certain types of information, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So one type of information it understands that we already know. This is Python, not Bash. Python doesn't understand these things.
I forget how to leave Python.
Control D to leave Python.
Always?
But we want to stay in Python.
But I want to get out of it because I want to clear.
Okay. Okay, so caps lock is fine there. Sometimes, so some systems are case sensitive, just so you know. So let's go back into Python. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about data types, okay? Meaning the type of information that Python understands. So right off the bat, 2 plus 2 means Python understands numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 types of numbers. So there's numeric types, right? So types are the kinds of information that Python can work with, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So from doing these additions already, we see that it can understand numbers, right? And there's basically 2 types of numbers in Python, okay? There's integers, which are just numbers, whole numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have integers, whole numbers, right? 1, 2, 3.
What types are the kind of information?
The types are kinds of information that Python can work with, right? So it can work with integers. It can also work with something called floats, which are decimal numbers. Okay.
So types of numbers.
Types of information, right? It can deal with more than just numbers, as we're going to see.
But
Okay, so
you wrote types.
What?
Types of information.
Yeah.
That sounds weird as a sentence.
Types are like a word, a special word. Okay? So when we talk about types, we mean what kinds of information can the program deal with. Okay? So 2 is a type. Basically we can I'll talk about that later, but basically it's a type, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, a number is a type of information, right? We can also have what we call strings, which we already kind of saw, right? So Python can also work with strings, text types, and the main one is strings, okay? Which is just text, right? And for example, hello, okay? And strings, we call them strings for any kind of text. We call it a string, okay? And strings are always contained in quotation marks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's how Python knows that what it's dealing with is text, okay? So hello, we can say that, right? And Python knows what to do with it. We can add up strings, for example. We can say add this string to this string. Try that out. It creates one string that's joining together those 2 strings, right? Okay, so right now, yeah, try that.
Wait, don't I have to put quotes?
You gotta put quotes, otherwise Python doesn't know that you're
wait,
dealing with text.
I'm
No
not
mouse,
supposed to-
do
no
not
mouse.
use the mouse. Yeah, okay, so put a quote there. That's it. So you want to hit enter?
Oops.
Okay. Plus, yeah, so there you go. So that should give you a new string that's combining those 2. You see how the quotes are only
Oops.
up? Yeah, you can go. Yeah, if you hit up, it'll bring you back to the last thing you typed in. You want to put a space after to make it nice? Okay. Friend.
Oops. I meant to put it here.
Yeah. So while I do that, I'll write that out. You can perform operations on strings, one operation is called concatenation. So hello, my friend, results in hello, my friend. Right? Okay. This is the joining of. So there you go. Very nice. So we did addition on numbers, right? So it was able to deal with numbers and it's able to deal with text. Okay. Got that? Very nice. So for now, that's the two main types we're going to work with. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now, on their own, these things aren't very useful. Okay. We need to have some way to store them, so that Python can also remember the information that we give it. Okay. So if we wanted to, for example, store this string hello ocean, right? And we didn't want to have to, every time we need to use it, we didn't want to have to retype it in, right? I do this. If I want to use it again, I have to retype hello ocean, right? I can do something called storing it into a variable. Okay? So I can say something that you've seen in math. I can say x equals hello ocean. Okay? Now, Python's going to say, okay, whenever I see an equal sign, anything to the left is the name of whatever is on the right. So basically, you can use x now to tell Python to go back and find whatever I told it corresponds to. Right? So now next time I type x, it's going to know, oh, that meant hello ocean. Right? So these are called variables. So we can store data. So did you say, hello queen? You didn't put quotation marks, right? So when Python doesn't see quotation marks, it thinks that you're using a variable instead of actually entering a string, right? You did it. Nice. That's very nice. So you can do this, since we know that there's two types of data, we can say, all right, x is a string, right? X equals, and we can say y equals 49, right? So we can give any type of data that Python understands, we can assign it a name. So you can say y equals 49, for example. Ready, Freddy. Very nice. So you have two variables here, right? You have x and s, right? So we'll try s plus x. See what that gives you. What? I think was that a plus? Yeah, okay, see. So it joined the two strings, right? So that's really convenient now because we can sort of let Python know, store this data, and whenever we want to use it, now we just use this convenient name for it, right?
Yes.
Is that clear? Careful with the quotation marks there. You can use single or double quotes. Python doesn't mind which ones. All right. I think just one machine.
Oops.
Go down, press down. There you go. All right.
Now, oh, it's Florence and the Machine.
Mm-hmm. It's not M machines.
Oops.
That's okay. See what happens there. Now, you can also assign that to a new variable. So you can say, for example, W equals M plus L plus T. So now whatever result from that comes out of that, it'll be stored as well.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Good?
Mm-hmm.
Play around with it?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Now, last type of data I will show you for today, and that'll be the end of our lesson, is functions. Okay? Super important, right? So functions are another type of data, right? That Python understands. And the thing with functions is that they actually do interesting things, right? So you can think of functions as a sort of box or like a little machine that takes some information in and spits out some result, okay? So one function that we already saw is print, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you that inside round brackets, you put in the information that goes into the function. So I can say print y here, and it'll show on the screen the value of y. Okay? This doesn't make a lot of sense in the interactive mode that we're using right now, but when you do it inside of a file, it'll actually help you display things. So, for example, what other function can I tell you about? Okay, let's get out of interactive mode here. Control D. Okay. Let's clear that. All right. So let's go into let's make a, what type of program should we do? Let's make a calculator that only adds for now, okay? So let's call it, what are we going to call the calculator?
We already did this.
No, this is going to be we're going to finish it in 5 minutes.
But
I just want to show you how functions work. Huh?
But we already made a calculator named Calculatron.
Okay, so let's open up Calculatron.
Not found.
You didn't, because you didn't have your computer last time.
You have Calculatron.
Yeah, so you open up a file. We're going to delete this, okay? We're going to start over. Okay? Open up the file. Call it Calculatron. So say vim. All right. So I'm going to teach you about 2 functions, all right? So a function takes something in and spits out a result. Okay? So what this function does, it's called input. Okay? You know what? No, let's not do functions. It's not going to be good. I think that's good for now. I think that's enough for today.
Why?
It's going to be too much to go into functions right now. Yeah. Were you clear with the variables?
Yes. Can I have those?
Have what?
The nodes?
Yeah. I'll send them to you.
Because I don't remember a lot of
The commands for Vim?
different commands.
Yeah, I know. Those take practice. But I'm typing them up here as we go.
But do you think I could practice them on my computer at work?
Yeah. You can even...
Still recording?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.